It's hard for most of us to imagine that clean, safe water is not something that can be taken for granted. But in the developing world, finding a reliable source of safe water is often time-consuming and expensive. This is known as economic scarcity. Water can be found, it simply requires more resources to do it. In other areas, the lack of water is a more profound problem. There simply isn't enough. That is known as physical scarcity. The problem of water scarcity is a growing one. As more people put ever-increasing demands on limited supplies, the cost and effort to build or even maintain access to water will increase. And water's importance to political and social stability will only grow with the crisis. Antigua and Barbuda is not immune to such crisis. In this short feature, we look to not only the experts, but also to those of the Antiguan society who are affected by this shortage.
The Potworks Reservoir, which is the largest water body within the Potworks watershed. This body holds approximately 1 imperial gallons of water when it's full. At present, it is empty. We were doing production from this source as early as May of this year, 2015, but the water we got in it that we were able to treat came from one freak wave that occurred in 2014 November after the passage of Hurricane Gonzalo. At present, the Potworks Reservoir is empty and it provides about 1.5 to 2 million gallons per day of potable water. When the situation occurs, it means we have to shift our resources from the treatment of surface water to more desalination. With surface water now out of the picture, we're up to 90% desalination and 10% groundwater. For those of you who would know that as the drought continues, our groundwater resources will also diminish. And we are now seeing this diminishing over the last 3 months. And we're expecting with maybe the next 6 months ago that we will not have groundwater anymore. So we'll be totally dependent on desalinated water.
It basically wiped me out because my pond went dry for the first time in maybe 20 years. And a lot of the plants, seedlings and trees that are planted over the years have mostly been wiped out.
Yes, every livestock owner in this country has lost animals recently. Cattle are dying, small livestock, ruminants, sheep and goats, and we've lost several donkeys as well. The grass that is available has very little nutrition in it because of the long-term effects of the drought.
Our demand for water is continually increasing with growing population, consumption patterns, and food demands. Significant energy is required to produce and pump desalination water. This energy requires fossil fuel, which drives up the cost of producing desalination water. It is feasible to replace fossil fuels with renewable energy to power desalination units as well as pumps delivering irrigation water to remote farms. In this regard, it was determined that priority should be given to planning the transition of desalination plants from fossil fuels to renewable solar energy. Converting irrigation pumps, especially in remote areas, from fossil fuel to solar energy, and promoting energy-saving technologies in operation of desalination plants.